This video idea brought to you by Dr. DinoBub on Discord. If you have an idea for a video you'd like to see in the future, let me know in the comments below and it may become a future video. Greetings gamers! About a week before Monkey Quest release in 2011, Nickelodeon began running an advertisement featuring disturbing CGI monkeys from our world traveling to and discovering Ook. Despite this ad being a terrible representation of Monkey Quest and likely causing trauma for many young children, the implication that the world of Monkey Quest, Ook, could be traveled to in the real world got me thinking. Is there an actual location in the real world that could possibly fit all of the requirements for Monkey Quest Ook? With such diverse landscapes from tundras to swamps, it would seem nearly impossible to narrow down an actual real-world location. In today's video, however, I will attempt to give what I believe to be a hypothetical location for Ook in the real world, that fits with both the geography, climate, and overall everything that has to do with the world of Ook. Let's set a few ground rules to get our starting candidates. We're looking for an island or set of islands which automatically rules out any large land masses. We also need an area that we already know has a large amount of geographic diversity, a place that would be able to support an ecosystem as diverse and varied as Monkey Quest. After at least 15 minutes of research, I've narrowed it down to 3 possible candidates. Firstly, we have Madagascar, off the coast of Africa. Madagascar is well known for its lush climates and exotic nature. Additionally, it supports a large amount of wildlife, making it an ideal possible location considering Ook's diverse ecosystem. Secondly, I've chosen the Aleutian Islands in Alaska. Despite the obvious cold temperature, the islands support a surprisingly diverse ecosystem, and the tundras make a clear candidate for the upper regions of Ook's map, something which none of our other candidates can easily match. Our final candidate is New Zealand, also known as Australia Light. New Zealand is an archipelago off the coast of Australia, known for its diverse geography and wildlife, along with being the main filming location for the Lord of the Rings trilogy. We'll be using 5 main categories to judge our candidates: mountains, temperatures, volcanoes, swamps, and tundras. Some of you may be asking why I'm not considering the wildlife of a climate. This is because in the lore TM of Ook, very few of the creatures we meet are actually natives of Ook, and rather were created by the main antagonist, Ka. The only creatures that are truly native are based on the real-world equivalents of fish, ants, and birds. Considering how common animals within these taxa are, it doesn't really seem fair to take it into account, as such a small detail could not completely throw off our calculations. As far as the existence of monkeys, the garbage trailer we're basing this off of does indicate that the monkeys traveled to Ook from our world, meaning that they were not originally natives to the environment. Thus, we do not have to consider their presence in our search. Let's begin with our first qualifier, mountains. Conveniently, we can also tackle the volcano category with this. We need to look at both of these categories in order to support the large volcanoes which exist in Ook, such as the volcano surrounding Volcano Lair and the large volcano by Scaldera in the Mektek region. Additionally, the existence of mountains provides a possible location for the Iron Mountains, which the Chimfu Society lives atop of. The Aleutian Islands are home to many volcanoes known as the Aleutian Arc. Some examples of volcanoes in this arc, which I, to be clear, cannot pronounce, are Mount Shishalden, Mount Okmok, and this one. Madagascar additionally has both volcanoes and mountains. While it does not have as many as the Aleutian Arc, it still has enough to score a point in this category. And finally, New Zealand suffers from everything in Australia is terrifying syndrome, hosting a large variety of volcanic activity. Additionally, New Zealand is well known for its beautiful mountain range, the Southern Alps, further confirming its score in the mountains category. Seeing as the scores are even, it's time to shake things up. Let's take a look at our third category, temperature. This category is fairly easy to judge. We need a fairly lush atmosphere in order to support the jungle areas and flora of Ook. New Zealand and Madagascar easily score points in this category, both being far below the equator. Alaska being Alaska means this is the first category the Aleutian Islands lose a point in. Next, let's look at our fourth category, tundra. We need to look at tundras and icy environments in order to support the frozen waste of the Ice Raiders tribe. The Aleutian Islands easily and obviously fit this category, being literally Alaska. Madagascar isn't so lucky in this category, as an environment as lush as Africa does not often support an icy environment. The Deforestation has led to some tundra-like environments, however the high temperatures will always hinder Madagascar in this category. New Zealand surprisingly can fit the icy requirements. This image could practically be the peaks of Zor, and that's enough for me. New Zealand is in the lead with 4 points, with Madagascar and the Aleutian Islands at 3. This could either end in a disastrous tie or an all-out victory for New Zealand. Let's take a look at our final category, swamps. Swamps are important to look at as the large region called the Swamp of Misery takes up a large portion of Ook's map. The Aleutian Islands lose yet another point here, being Alaska. However, Madagascar is able to score here, especially considering its large mangrove swamps, strikingly reminiscent of what we see in the Udu Mystics tribe. However, New Zealand is also able to score one final point with its wetlands. Despite these not being as intense as Madagascar's swamps, they do indeed fit the category of swamp, thus getting New Zealand yet another point. Overall, New Zealand surprisingly scores a point in every single category. This wasn't even planned when I started writing the script. It appears New Zealand is a perfect candidate for the world of Ook. Its main weakness comes in its wetlands, but Madagascar simply cannot compete with its lack of colder environments. New Zealand reigns as the top contender in this competition. While the government wants you to think that Ook is a made-up conspiracy theory, Clock Tower Square may well be deep within the mountains of New Zealand. Unless I'm totally off base, of course, which you can let me know in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed this attempt to fill the ever-growing void in my soul. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to subscribe for more Monkey Quest content. I hope you enjoyed and have a wonderful day.